everybody, and welcome to the FFC Show. My name is Thomas Harkin. Today, I'm joined by Tyler Williams, who is from Welsh Gladiators. He's going to be boxing against Jayci Dix from Strike Fitness at 55 kilo on Rhondda Rampage 7. Tyler's fought with us before. He's made his K1 debut on Rhondda Rampage 3, and he also made his boxing debut on Rhondda Rampage 5. So, welcome on, brother. What I'm going to do, Tyler, anyone who doesn't know you yet, bro, can you give us a bit intro, who you are, where you're from, and how did you get into combat sports, bro?
Yeah, I think you've done a good job of it, to be fair. I'm Tyler Williams. I'm from Bridgend, and I got into combat sports. It was a bit of a weird one, really, because I was just living a normal life, working and everything. But then I felt like I wasn't training so much because of work and everything, because I was enjoying like my weights and things like that.
Mm,
And one day I was like, I need to do something. So what I was gonna say
mm.
was I saw Corn advertising PTs one day,
Oh, okay.
and I just thought I'll drop a message and go from there.
Mm,
So I did that, met him, everything was great, and then he started like that's when his PTs were starting to take off a little bit. You know what I mean? He was getting
yeah,
quite a few when he was getting quite busy with them. So
yeah.
he just decided to start his own classes, which obviously turned into Welsh Gladiators, and yeah, that's basically how I got into combat sports.
So from the very start, then, so pretty much from like this,
Yeah,
from the minute the corn started, you've been with him from the start. Like,
yeah, pretty much since
yeah,
since the start of Welsh Gladiators.
that's that's good. So what's that? Two years, 2 years now. No, Rhondda
Yeah,
Rampage
it's about 2.5.
2.5. Yeah, that's it. I remember
Yeah,
now. I remember now. And you know when you first met Corn, obviously with his PTs and just being on the one-to-one scenario, did you find that training was different to what it's like when you're in a group environment?
yeah. Well, yes, but no. Like Corn is a weird one to explain. So he makes us do a lot of exercises anyway, but
Mm,
then obviously when it's just you and him, like because when it's a class of people, you'll know yourself as a coach. You walk around and you make sure everybody's doing it properly. But
yeah,
when it's just you and him, he is just there
yeah.
staring at you, and it's like I gotta stay strong here. So it's not a big difference, but I'd say the biggest difference is like technical things.
Mm.
It's a lot easier to correct one to one rather
Yeah.
than of class of people.
And it's good as well, right? Because you obviously that's how you initially got into combat sports as well. Like, I think that's a really good avenue because you've got the direct coaching that you needed from the start. So I'm not going to say hiding because this is not the right word, but you get some people who will turn up to a boxing class or a kickboxing class and they'll kind of like stay to the back,
Yeah.
because they don't want to take Mm, they don't want any of the attention. Do you know what I mean? So obviously
No, I
throwing
know where you're
yourself
coming
in
from.
into a one-to-one, I think that is the best, the best thing. Like,
Oh,
so
it was brutal. It was
yeah,
very
yeah,
brutal.
and that's the thing as well. The cons like that through and through. And he did.
Yeah.
Did you think about fighting from a start? What made you want to fight?
Well, you mean like competitively or?
Just because obviously going from that one-to-one, right? Like you have a different taste for it, don't you? Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's very
Yeah, yeah,
technical
definitely.
heavy and you have that type of stuff. Like, did you think, all right, this is something that I want to go and I want to compete in, or was it something that come from when you did get into the group classes and got a bit more involved? Was it like a burning desire from the very beginning?
Well, I'll be honest, like not completely. For me, it was something to do, something to get me fit,
Mm,
something to well, like we talked about this before, like fighting is just like it's just a general life skill, isn't it? You
yeah,
know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's never bad to know how to defend yourself. So that's really how I started. And then I kept going, kept enjoying it, and I kept improving, obviously. And
mm,
then that's when the thought of competing came then. And ever since I've thrown myself into that, it's been great, really, It's a
yeah,
different mindset. Because if you just go in there to, I don't know, have a good time and stay fit, it is great. But when you're competing, you've got to push yourself that little bit extra and you've got to do them extra, what's the words? You've got them extra responsibilities, haven't you?
yeah. That leads me to the next point as well, because obviously being from Gladiators, like you said at the start, the core makes you do the hard work and the exercises and stuff. Like, I know myself the Cohen's mentality, and as well, and especially from him
Yeah.
being a head coach, like what was what do you find this changed within the gym now that you've got the team, and you've got, because obviously you've got a strong team around you. We've also got like two other guys from Gladiators fighting on the show as well. So like,
Yeah.
what's the gym like? What's the gym's feel like? Is it, obviously you said that it's a lifestyle choice. Now, I love that point, because you get a lot of people who want to turn up and they go, I'll never fight, I'll never do this, I'll never
Mm.
spar, I'll never do that. I'll never, like, we've got people in our gym. We've done it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if you've met Raps or Lucy. She was the same. She was like, I'm never gonna spar. Now she's fucking comes to Wednesday. She's the first one with the gloves and a mouth guard in. Do you know what I mean?
That's
So
how it
like,
goes, isn't it?
it is. But is that something that you found as well? Like being within the gym, and obviously switching your mentality to knowing now that like you're learning a new skill. Did you find that having a team alongside you to build, and having such a close team around you, did that help?
Oh, massively, yeah. Well,
Mm.
we're all going through the same things, aren't we, really? We're all
Yeah.
going through the same, whether it's pressure, whether it's the same things in sparring, we're all going through the same exercises, we're all
Mm.
doing the same drills, and we are quite a tight-knit group, like, we have busy days and we have quiet days, but I find we have a core group now,
Yeah.
ever since we moved to the new place. We've got probably about 10 people who are really close together, you know what I mean? And yeah, it massively helps because we all bounce off each other as well with different things, different ideas, different ways of training. Even little things like you'll know yourself, when you're sparring and you'll catch somebody with something and then they'll say, how did you do that? And then you'll say,
Yeah.
well, this and that. So little things, but it's little things that help everything, I find.
Yeah. And like, I think that having the right gym around you, and what I mean by that is having somewhere where you are happy, like
Oh,
it,
yeah.
it, it can develop you so much more, because you want to be there. You
Yeah.
you do want to turn up and be in a place where like, oh fucking hell, I've got an hour and a half of cardio today, or I've got an hour and a half of this, so I got 2 hours of this. Oh, I'm not going to enjoy this. But having that, as you said, that close knit group around you, it makes you want to be there. It makes you want to enjoy training. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
You
It
know,
helps. It helps a lot.
and so obviously you are a core member of Gladiators. Obviously, when you guys come up and cross train with us, you're always there, and whenever
Mm.
we reference, we always speak about you. And so when we were at the weigh-ins yesterday for Carnage in Cardiff, Ash said, this stood out to me. This didn't, and I wanted to bring this up, right? But the only reason I wanted to bring it up now is because I wanted to get your response to it, right? In reference to the gym, when Ash said that you've got such a nice personality, which you have, you're a great fucking guy, but then you've got that little switch, right? And I remember because I watched your boxing bout just before we done this, right? And there's a photo, no, sorry, there's a moment where you got clipped with a straight right, and you kind of like opened your gloves, smiled, and bit down, and then went, right?
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, because obviously, what I'm getting at is, do you put that down to being from the gym that you're at? So, like, do you put that down from training with Corn and picking up from, the other guys that you train with, that you've got to have that switch mentality? Because I think you do. I think, like, when you took that shot, you're like, fucking, all right, then let's go. And you just snap.
Mm.
Not going to say snap, because you still fought a very good fight, but like, I think I brought out something in you. And do you think that, having the gym around you, that's helped develop it?
Oh, massively. Like when you see, well, I always joke around, but these people I'm about to say, Corn and Ash and people like that, they are madmen, you know what I mean?
Mm.
So being around them all the time, seeing them, how they respond to things in sparring and in fights generally, it kind of it rubs off on you and it teaches you a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because when you see Corn, he gets sometimes like in a few of his recent fights, he's faced a little bit of early adversity, and you see straight away he doesn't lose his head, he stays composed, bites down on the gum shield, and then he gets back to work, doesn't he? So I think a lot of it comes from uh that as well, you know?
Do you do you uh, what kind of fighter do you think this to help you become then? Because like, I'm not gonna say, a brawler or whatever, but from your first fight against Squirrel in the K1 bout, I seen a fucking mental shift in your boxing bout. Like
Yeah,
in your boxing bout, you were on the front foot from the fucking first second. With Squirrel, I'm not
yeah.
going to say you retreated or whatever, but you were a
I
bit on the
shelled up
back
a
foot.
little bit. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I don't mind saying. Yeah, 100%.
fair play, fair play. You beat me to then, fair play. I respect that. And
Yeah.
but the second time out, you're a complete different person. So has it changed the fighter you are now?
Yeah, a bit, but to be honest, I think we'll probably see a new Tyler again. Like I
That's what I look
think,
forward to.
yeah, I think I'm gonna be like obviously the Squirrel one wasn't great, like from my
No,
point of view.
I disagree on that. I'm not going to say that it wasn't great, right? It was your debut, right? You've got
Of
to
course, yeah.
understand. You got to understand it was your debut. Squirrel's got experience, right? And
Yeah. And
he's
I
got,
take my hat off to him. He did, I'm not taking away from him. He
mm,
did what he needed to do and he
yeah,
did it really well. And
yeah,
it was the
Squirrel.
best version of Squirrel I've ever seen,
Yeah, it
So
was. It was a
that's
great version
respect
of
to
him.
him.
Yeah, and like I said, I think for you, that's all it was you hit the nail on the head from the start. You shelled up a little bit, so then you
Yeah.
learned from that. Do you know what I mean? I think that I'm not going to say that you're too hard on yourself. It was a win or a learn, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like you
100%.
took a
Yeah, yeah,
learn
yeah.
from it, and I think that's the best way to be. So sorry, I kind of jumped in there. I do apologize
No,
to
it's fine. It's
you.
okay.
So yeah, so as we were saying, like, what what do you think's made the change? What made you turn into that person now where you're like, right, fuck this, I'm just gonna bite down and go up a bit more.
Right. Well, to be honest, literally links back to what you just said about a win or a learn. So I learned from that I didn't want to have that feeling again of thinking I probably could have tried a bit more.
Mm.
I probably should have went for it a bit more. And that's basically what it was. But I probably got a little bit too wound up because I did just chase after him a bit much. But um, I ended up gassing out a little bit. But that's another lesson in itself.
And I think that lesson with the gas and out point has led to your performance in Rampage 5. But then there's also now, like, you've just come off Colin's BKB camp.
Yeah,
You've just finished it. You've done the whole camp with him. Realistically, you're going into 6 weeks of preparation now for Rhondda Rampage 7. So like I don't think fitness is going to be of a call this time. Do you know what I
no,
mean?
not yeah, not
Like
not as nowhere near as much. And if it
no,
is, it'll be because I'm able to, what's the word? Put out more output. You get
yeah,
me?
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm not worried about it like I was the last two times.
So we're talking that then, right? What's the demand in training? So like what you said, obviously there's a lot of exercises and there's a lot of this, there's a lot of that. Like,
Yeah,
and obviously as we just touched on, Cornelius Sablaskis making his BKB debut on Carnage in Cardiff. So what's the demand been like being part of the training camp and knowing that your head coach is fighting, so knowing that you've got to keep up or be part of that, what's that like as
yeah.
well?
Well, it's good because it pushes you extra. But you know what Corn's like. He doesn't really give if anything 5 minutes. Like you'll wake me up, you'll ring me, you'll be like, right, we're going to the gym now. We'll go to the gym. I'll pad for him for a bit. He'll pad for me. Then we'll be doing bag work. Then we'll go and have some food and like
Mm,
refuel. And then the class will start then, you know what I mean? So we're doing loads of sessions. And even
yeah,
things like I'm sure he told you, we went up Newport
yeah, yeah,
to St. Joseph's boxing gym, and we've gone up there a couple of times, and good. It's good. It's a new environment, good coaches. Yeah, it's just everything. It's a lot, but it's what you need to do if you wanna take this serious sort of thing. You get what I'm trying to say?
oh fucking right. But then it's good that you see it that way as well. Like
Yeah,
even though you're going into your third fight, it may only be your third fight, but you're still treating it as like your biggest test going forward. So you're getting
yeah,
the best
definitely.
training that you possibly can get in, and I
Yeah,
think that's great. And as you said, you and Corner got a very good relationship, like you're quite close. So like I think that is a really good benefit for the two of you as well, because
100%.
you can bounce off each other. You can, like, and bro, like same when you guys come up with us, like you need that companionship. Even though this sport's quite fucking lonely, it is quite lonely when you're in a ring or a cage on your own or a trigon or whatever. But like, is that's only 15 minutes. The whole that literally the rest of it, including the time after it, you're with your team.
Of
Do you know what I mean?
course,
So
the
it's
fight is just like the cherry on top, isn't it?
yeah, and it is literally 15 minutes, if that, where you're on your
Yeah.
own. So it's like having everybody else around you, I think, is one of the best things. And that leads on to the next point now. We've got other guys, so we've got teammates of yours. So we've got Jordan Edwards versus Rhydian Cummings from Eagles. Then we've got, I might say this wrong, Ethan Montato?
Montoto.
Montoto. Fucking knew
Yeah.
I was going to say it wrong. I should have asked you first.
Yeah,
Versus
yeah, yeah.
Aidin Dix from Beales. So what's the environment like in the gym? Obviously, we've got other guys fighting as well.
Yeah, well, you'll know this obviously because you run your own gym. It's good because you have them like if it's just one person fighting, it can be hard for that one person because, they're trying to do this and that and they're trying to get extra things in and they're trying to maybe not that we're doing this at the minute, but they might try and spar harder than everybody else and everything. But when you've got a few other boys, it does help because, like if you say to the boys, "Oh, we'll do extra this, extra that," because we're all fighting, everybody's up for it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
The end, like, we all match each other's energy, sort of thing.
Yeah, and that's the best thing then, because you all match it. The energy stays consistent through you all, then, doesn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
And we all pick each other up, like, because
yeah.
Ethan, he works, I think he's a mechanic, right? And sometimes he'll come in a little bit tired and everything. But then me and Jordan will be there to pick him up, to boost him, to be like, come on, you're fighting in August and everything. And then,
Hmm.
he will then, he'll go out and he'll do a good session then.
So just touch on Jordan. So what's Jordan looking like in the gym then? Obviously, as Jordan's fighting Rhydian. Rhydian's coming
Yeah.
from Eagles. Rhydian's fought on the show before. What's Jordan looking like?
Yeah, he's good. He's good. He used to do a bit of K1 down in KGB.
Hmm.
So like when he first came to the gym, I could see straight away that it wasn't his like you can tell when somebody's trained before, can't you? You can see it
Yeah,
straight away in the technique and everything. Yeah, Jordan's doing really well to be fair to him.
sweet.
And he's adapting well to all the fitness stuff that Corn's implementing and everything like that. He's doing
Nice.
good.
And Ethan, you obviously fighting Aidin Dix from Beales Muay Thai as well. So what's Ethan looking like?
Yeah, Ethan's good. With Ethan, we like obviously with him is a little bit different. Like he hadn't done a lot of training before,
Hmm.
but over the past few months, to see his technique come on, to see his timing come on, his combos, his confidence, and even things like I'm helping him every now and again lift some weights to just to
Yeah.
make sure he can build that strength and a bit of a bit, that extra athleticism.
Nice.
So Ethan's progressing quite nice.
Mm. So one of the things that obviously comes without saying is this would be your third fight now. So you're kind of like going into the Rhondda Rampage, kind of like leading from the front. So do you feel that there's a little bit more, I don't say pressure, but you're fighting later in the card, like you're gonna be people know you already, you've
Mm.
obviously fought there before, so people, do you feel that you've got a little bit more on this one?
I'll be honest, not really, because if
Until I
anything, I
said
find it,
that.
yeah, I'll be honest, I find him like better because it's like you said, I know people, I know the environment, I know what to expect.
Mm,
Like the biggest pressure will be coming from myself, like
yeah,
wanting myself to train it. There's no real external pressure, if you get what I'm saying.
yeah. So that is a good thing. Like you hit the nail on the head, but with the fact that you've done it before, and like
Mm.
you've done the walkout, you've done the and obviously from in the new venue where we are now in Tylerstown Welfare Hall, the new home of Rhondda Rampage, you've done the walkout. So you've done it is a lot of energy because obviously you've got
Yeah,
the balcony's on top of you, you've got and the fact that it's loud as fuck being where it is,
no,
and
it is, isn't
yeah,
it?
we always go for a small ring. We've always chosen a small ring, so it's like you've got used to that already, which I think is definitely something that you can use for your, as you said, like you using that already, and the test then is from yourself. Do you know what I mean? I think
Massively.
that's one of the the best things about it because as you said, you've changed. You've grown from your Ronda Rampage 5 performance, which I look forward into seeing. So, what can people expect to see? What fuck's sake? What can people expect to see from Tyler Williams on Ronda Rampage 7? There we go. I got it in the end.
There you go. Well, it's very similar to number five. It's just, I don't know, I'd say I'm a bit more technical now. You know, like I was okay in that one, but I got a bit more. I'm not going to give loads away, but I got more
Oh yeah, of
head
course.
movement, more, ring IQ.
Mm.
Just little things like that. You know what I mean? I'm the same style. I've just built on it a little bit.
Yeah, so
That's all.
perfected, perfected and got your precision. But I know what you're saying.
Yeah, just
I,
little
I,
things,
yeah,
combos, things like that.
I don't want to go too much into it. Obviously, as I said, I don't want to take anything away from your preparation and stuff. So
Mm,
what we'll do, look, we'll do a bit of a flashback. So we look at Rampage 3. So first
okay.
fight was against Squirrel from KGB. Um, it was K1. And obviously, as we said, this was your debut. It was at 50. No, what weight was it?
So it was 57.
57. I thought
Yeah.
if for some reason I had 58 in my head, but yeah, 57. Um, we touched on it at the start. So just what do you remember the most from it? But not from the fight, the night, like the whole thing. Because obviously being your debut, what is there anything that like stands out to you the most?
Um, Trying to think. Not really. Like, there was a lot of nerves, but
Mm,
I shared the same amount of nerves for the second one. Like, it's funny with me, yeah. Like, for 10 minutes, right, I'll be cool as you like, in the venue, like leading up to everything. I'll be cool and I'll be thinking, oh, this is fine, whatever, it's just a fight, it's fine. And then the next 10 minutes then, I'll be thinking about things and I might get myself a little bit worked up. Like I'm a funny one with that, you know what I mean? Like there
that's
wasn't
that
much
that's
of a
normal.
difference.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
normal
yeah,
about
yeah.
us, bro. That's you've gotta embrace that. That's one of the best things to do is you've got to
Yeah.
embrace that feeling because I think it's like
I think it helps a little bit, you know what I
yeah,
mean? It means you care and it means like if you're not nervous, you've got to be a little bit just you're like not like shit in the bed nervous, but more you know what I mean? But more like nerves that will fuel you,
mm,
like and make a reaction sharp and make you know what I'm trying
yeah,
to
I
say.
got you. What do you take the most from that then?
Um I don't know, but I'd probably say the just how everything goes. You know what I mean? Like the experience of walking out, getting in the ring, seeing how it goes, like, the crowd, everything. And obviously, like I've almost learned what not to do. Like we said before, with shelling up and things like
Yeah.
that. I'd say they're probably the biggest things I took away from that. But but yeah, it was just a good experience, you know what I mean? I
Mm,
didn't get hurt or, like it wasn't, I didn't get like finished or knocked out or damaged really bad.
mm,
Like I can't lie, I feel the leg kicks did hurt, but apart from that, I was fresh, like.
yeah. So we go back to Rampage 5 now. So this was your boxing debut. So before we go into the fight, what made you transition across?
Um, as I was doing, sorry, as I was, well, down in the gym, and you guys are the same. We do boxing and K1
Mm,
and well, Muay Thai as well, but we do a lot of boxing and a lot of K1. And I was doing all the sessions, but then I just I found in sparring and in other things, I believe I'm more naturally suited to boxing.
okay.
Like as I learned a bit more boxing, I found I was able to move my head more. I found out I had pretty quick feet, like little things like that. And even when I shelled up in that fight, a lot of it was because of the kicks and the kicking range. But
Mm,
in boxing, there is no kicking range, you know. So I just found all of that. It just kind of made sense for me to do boxing. And then I did the fight, it went the way I wanted it to go. And yeah, at the minute, I think I got more to offer in boxing than in K1, but never say never with it.
good answer there. I like that. Um, I bet that win for you felt quite important because of obviously you feeling that inspiring, feeling that that's the right transition for you. And I bet that win on Rhondda Rampage 5 was quite a buzzing moment because if you made that decision to come across, like
Yeah, no, massively. It was.
what was different then? Obviously, you said about your feet, and we touched on the technical aspect and stuff, but like, was there any different feeling on the night? Like you said, you still had the nerves and stuff, but was it because you already done it once before? Was there anything that you didn't feel, or was there anything that you kind of like, right, I've already been through this now, so we're just kind of like gonna run with it?
Yeah, well, I'd say I was very similar. It's just my mentality was different. Like I wanted to go in there and show that I like that my last fight, I'm a different fighter now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was quite fired up though in my head. I was pretty cool when I was with my family watching all the other fights. But then when I started warming up, once I was walking out and I saw you and Corn and everybody, something just clicked inside me. I was like, right, I gotta go for this now. This
Mm.
is my time. This is my opportunity to show I'm a different fighter.
And it's cool as well. Like talking about seeing me, I remember coming out of our change because obviously we were sharing the changing room. But I remember
Yeah,
coming because I think we one of our Apollo fought just before you, and I
I think it was
remember,
Joshy.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was, yeah. And I
yeah,
remember coming down and seeing you just about to walk through that corridor, and you could see it. You could see the energy. You could see that
mm,
you were ready for it, and
yeah. I was pumped.
yeah, and it was awesome. I remember literally coming into the changing room and then putting my stuff down, and I was like on your ass coming up. I was just following you straight up behind, just because obviously all wanted to watch the fight, like, and it was a great performance, man. Like it really was.
Yeah, thank you.
Especially one of the things that like can happen, especially if you lose your debut, is you either think, "Oh fuck this isn't for me," or you find, right, I'm gonna do this, but I want to get better. And I think that was, I'm not going to say a redemption moment for you because I don't think that's the right word, but I think that you proved that you made the right decision to go, right, I'm going to concentrate on doing this for now,
Yeah,
get myself, build some confidence in this aspect now, and then not just that, but the two fights you've had, you've done the full fight. You haven't, like you said, you wasn't finished against Squirrel. You took your opponent 3 rounds in the last one, and I think that gaining the rounds as well and gaining the experience points, as you will, in the
yeah,
ring.
no, massively, yeah,
I think that does benefit, and I think coming into this next one, I think that does help. Even though you've only had the one boxing bout, I think that does help coming in, like especially as we touched on, like the walkout, like. If people haven't been to the show yet, like the walkout from downstairs is quite.
long, isn't it? It's a
It
long
is
walk.
long. It is, and it's quite. Again, it may sound, a bit fucking mad on the outside, but it's a bit gladiatorial. So, and what I mean by
Yeah,
that
no,
is,
very. I
yeah,
felt it. Yeah, you're
it's
walking down that tight
single
corridor.
corridor.
Yeah,
It's like a very tight corridor, fucking high ceilings, single corridor, high. You can hear everything. And as
yeah,
soon as you get into that back corridor, you're pretty much face to face with the opponent because they're on the top of the stairs, you're on the bottom of the stairs. And then, as we said, it's a tight corridor. You can't fit anybody else in the corridor other than a single file. So like you'd be sitting there and then you'd have one person would go and you can hear the crowd. The crowd is with that. I found that having that balcony brings a different type of atmosphere because everything just seems louder. And then being the building that it is, it seems louder again because the
yeah.
fact that, well,
I
it's,
agree. I think it was a game changer.
yeah, and being like it's a performance hall, and obviously a miners hall, being that it's got
Mm.
the high ceilings, the like Ricky Wright said, the acoustics sound fucking great, so
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
things like that. And I think that little things that adds to the pressure because when you walk out and you're like standing in that corridor, I've never fought in there, but like I've cornered a couple of guys in there, and like even me, like I'm standing, I'm fucking hell, you can feel it, you can
Oh,
hear it,
massively, yeah.
and then as soon as you cut that corner to walk out, you're just faced with crowd, and you just burst into the energy, and I think that obviously, as we said, I think you being there already, I think that's gonna benefit a lot more, and then I think that like being, your second fight being in a place where you feel that you're a lot more comfortable. I really think I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be
Yeah, me too, to be honest. I
a
think, I'm gonna be able to show off like what I've added on again, you know what I mean?
yeah, that's what I was going to get at, like being able to put on show what you've developed, and I think that like that that is exactly what this fight will do for you, and yeah, I do. I look forward to it. Like I said, I enjoyed the Squirrel fight, and then obviously, your last one. So let's go on to the fight now. So we're fighting. You're fighting Jayci Dix from Strike Fitness. It's 55
Yeah.
kilo. Like a bit lower than Squirrel and a bit higher than your last fight. 55. You said that you find is your natural weight now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm a little bit above, but obviously
Oh yeah,
I can
that's
drop that
fucking
quite
yeah,
easy.
yeah,
But
that's
that's
fine.
normal, isn't it? That's
Yeah,
fighting.
yeah, exactly. So like, because obviously it was 50-50 for your boxing debut, wasn't it? 50
Yeah,
for
that
your
was
box.
rough. Yeah, that was rough, bro. That was rough.
Still made it though, still done like a
Yeah,
professional,
made it.
still made it.
Made
So
it.
that, and then obviously as you said, Squirrel was a 57, so now fighting a 55. Do you think that this is the weight you're happy at now? You this is where we're gonna stay?
100%. Yeah, this is where I feel well, because this is the first camp where I've been properly doing more strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
Like I've been in the gym lifting weights, um, doing extra runs and sprints and everything.
Mm.
And I found obviously eating more and doing the weights, and I'm like I wouldn't be able to make 50 again like I am now. You
Yeah,
know
I
what I
got you.
mean? So I feel like I've got that extra little bit of power, maybe a little bit more speed, because I was a little bit drained to 50, but I still did well, still got the
Yeah.
job done.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. Now, with JC making his debut, right? Do you think, I'm not going to say he's going to come in a rush, but do you think he's going to come in hungry and wanting to make a bit of a
Yeah,
statement?
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because well, this is the first time I'm gonna have well, what I think is I should have more experience in him,
Mm.
because the other two fights, Squirrel already had 3 fights, and Johnson from my last fight, he must have had countless fights, you know. So yeah, I'm expecting maybe it's hard to really tell, but I'm expecting maybe to try and come at me quite early and maybe put it on me. But if he does, I'll just have to, either meet him or just try and dance around, try and tire him out a little bit. But
Is That's what you're preparing for? You're preparing for I'm not going to say a fucking onslaught because that's not the right word, but
yeah, no, but like violence, isn't it?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
well, it's hard to tell, isn't it? Because there's no previous footage on him.
yeah,
But what you
yeah,
know about people who make their debut is a lot of the time they're just coming at you, aren't
yeah,
they? Like,
coming forward. And
mm,
that's the thing as well, is like with having Corn and having Ash and Tommy and all of them lot around you as well, like you've got the coaching ability where you said dance. And I think that's a very key word because Corn can dance around people, with
you
his.
can, yeah.
So then
He
I think
chooses not to a lot of the time, but
I I think as you said, is you think you're going to expect him to come and try and rush forward or whatever. So, I do think this is good game plan to have. To fight
yeah,
what's in front of you. Um, and then two, obviously having the option where you can fuck about and move in, move out, and put it
yeah.
on him and bring it back and stuff. So, like, do you think though, being a debut fighter, do you think it's more dangerous for you to take the fight because you said about not having the footage and stuff? Do you think it's more take dangerous for you?
Um, in a way, yeah. And also because we said he might, well, I'm gonna fight what's in front of me. If
Yeah.
he doesn't rush at me, then that's fine. But if he does, that's also fine. Uh, yeah, like obviously he might not have the experience, like the actual in-ring experience, but um, like you said, like if you have footage on somebody, that can also help, you know what I mean? You can
Yeah.
say, this is how they set this up, this is how they like to fight, they either pressure or back foot or a mix of both. You kind of get the feel from the footage. But
Mm.
yeah, it's kind of whatever in it really. We just gotta I'll get in there and I'll just see what he comes out like.
Like you said, fight what's in front of you. Innit?
Yeah, literally.
Now, as we said from a little bit ago, with you coming in with a bit more experience and kind of like leading the team from the front on Rhondda Rampage 7, is there anything that you're gonna, or actually, is there any advice that you give any of the boys, be it making their debuts on the night? Is there anything that you'd say to them to think about, or is there anything that you'd, like little things that you do to help?
Well, I know it might sound a bit crap or a bit cliche, but first things first, they've got to enjoy it. Try not to be too,
That's not
like, there's
crap
going to
or
be
cliche.
nerves.
Yeah, but that's not
No,
crap or
yeah, there's
cliche,
going to be
bro. It's
nerves, but just enjoy it. Like with Ethan is his first one, and with Jordan, like even though he's trained a bit, like he's had more time training, like it'll be his first proper K1 fight.
Mm.
So it's just enjoy it, enjoy the moment, enjoy, the crowd with it with your family and your friends, and like yeah, just try not to be in your own head too much about it, sort of thing.
One of the things that I always mention, right, is always listen to your corner, right?
Yeah,
Now, let me ask you the question. When you made your debut, could you hear your corner?
I couldn't in the second one either.
No. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's always, oh yeah, listen to your corner, just do this, do that. Can't
yeah.
hear a fucking word they say.
I heard a word.
What was
So
that?
in the first round, when you remember, I had him up against the ropes and I was hitting with
Yeah.
body shots. All I could hear was Tommy say, "Let's go in for the finish now," and I was like, "All right," you know what I mean? That's all I heard pretty much. I heard him in between rounds, but
Of
when
course.
fighting,
It's
you're
tunnel
tunnel
vision,
vision.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, you're locked in. Like,
Yeah. And that's always my thing for people like making their debut is like, look, when we say listen to your corner at the opportunity,
yeah,
don't turn and look at us and
no,
fucking,
I did that once.
yes, you did. I remember
Yeah,
that.
I got
Yeah.
rushed for it.
Yeah. But like it's little things like that, that's always my kind of like little snippet of
Yeah,
like advice is like just listen to your corner when you can, and as you said, enjoy it because
yeah,
enjoying it is the best thing. It's not playing football, it's not playing rugby, and what I mean by that is like you do that because you enjoy it. The only difference with this is it's a contact sport, so like you still do everything where you still want to do it to enjoy it. It's not just the benefits of your health. You do it because you want to enjoy it, and you do it because you enjoy
yeah,
the
100%.
aspect of the fight game and fighting. And so yeah, I agree with you on enjoying and fucking and getting the best out of it.
Yeah, because if you enjoy it as well, like if they come away, regardless of the result, and they thought, oh, I give that a good go, I really enjoyed that,
Mm,
it will it'll make them want to do it again and keep training and everything,
yeah,
Like just don't be so in your own head and uptight about it, really.
yeah, I
That's
agree.
the main thing I'd say to the boys.
Now going into fight week, and obviously like coming to the end and making weight and stuff. Obviously, one of the best things is you haven't got a killer weight to make this time, so
Yeah.
you make it a bit easier. But what's fight week feeling like? What's it feel like?
Um, it's it's all right. Like it's one of them where fight week is, you all the hard work's already done.
Mm,
So now is just time to, you'll have a couple more sessions, like the start of fight week, you'll keep uh training hard. But then the last few days then it's more about just making sure the weight's okay, just tapering off, staying calm. Because well, that's what Corn does. A lot of the time he has this meditation thing he likes to listen to if he gets a bit worked up.
mm,
And he put that on for me before my second fight. And I listened to it before I weighed in. And it just basically tells you things like you've done the hard work, now this is the time to enjoy it. Yeah, fight week is it's a good one. It's quite weird, but yeah, I enjoy fight week to be fair.
the energy's always it's always like at sky high going all the way through it because everyone's bouncing, everyone's feeling it. It's
Yeah,
great. And then, as you said, like it is a weird one because it goes so slow but so quick.
it
Do you know,
does.
you know what
Yeah.
I mean? I know that sounds stupid, but like you wake up Monday and the first thing in a WhatsApp group is right, it's fucking fight week, boys. Let's fucking
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
you wake up and all of a sudden it's fight day, and you're like, right, fuck, here
We're
we
here
go.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. So I get that. And like one of the other sides to it is I've always found that like Corn saying about the meditation, I think that's great. He does that quite well. And
Yeah.
I've always found that for me, when we do the end of camp and fight week and stuff is like the tapering off aspect. We just try and make it fun, and again, it goes back to the point of where you just want to continue having fun going into what you wanted to be doing,
Yeah.
because, like you said, this is the hardest part now normally because people got a weight cut and people got to do this and people got to do that. So like this is normally the hardest part. So like when you're dancing, you're trying to fucking vibe, or you're trying to do karaoke, or you're trying to do this, or you're trying to do that. It's one of those, isn't it? So like, have you got any tips for your teammates coming into fight week, knowing that like they've got to make weight or anything? Is there anything that you will do specifically?
Well, pretty much what you just said. I'll just try and make sure all the boys have good energy, We'll just try and keep it light and playful. Because obviously, like in their heads, a lot of them will be thinking about the fight, like constantly probably.
Mm,
But just like good vibes and things like that. Like
yeah,
for example, when we're all in a plank position in the gym and we're all dying, like there'll be music blasting, and then a few of the boys will just start singing just to, you know what I mean? Like you're in pain and you're suffering, but you're just you're just trying to be in a good mood about it. Do you
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah. Of
It's
course,
one of them, like.
of course. And the thing is, you've got to have that. You've got to have that atmosphere because, like, as
Yeah,
we related back to, you've got to fucking enjoy it. Because if you don't enjoy it, it's pointless.
yeah, no, massively, and it
So,
helps as well.
yeah,
It
and
helps massively.
so back to the fight, we were saying about obviously Jayci being a debut and stuff, and all this. So we clearly improved, and we look forward to seeing the best version of Tyler we possibly can. So, what does a good performance look like for you?
A good performance. Well, I put quite a bit of pressure on myself, and it's hard to say because I don't know what he's going to look like.
Mm,
I'm preparing for him to be really good. I've heard he comes from a good gym and everything. So yeah. A good performance will be a win and for me to be able to show off, not show off, but show what I can do. You know what I mean? Like with just like the little things, like I keep saying, the things I've added on. I want to be able to show everybody that.
mm.
I don't want to. Even though the last fight was good, I don't want this fight to look the exact same as the last fight.
Yeah, I got you. I
So
got you.
that's pretty much it, really. Whether it's a decision or a
And
finish, like, I'm not worrying too much about that. What will be was what will be.
nice. And the thing is as well, you're a critique of your own skill as well, isn't you? So like
Yeah.
that's the way you looked in, and I like that because you, as you said, you're critical on your own performance before we even started, and I think that's good because you know that, like you said, you want to put on display of what you've done to improve.
Yeah, definitely.
I like that, bro. That's fucking good. So before we wrap this up, bro, right? Because is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to? And also, can you give us your Instagram and the best place for people to follow you and find out about your journey, please,
So
bro?
my Instagram is, I think it's tile.wills21.
Hmm.
I'm not really on many other social medias, but the best place would be Instagram. A big shout out to everybody at Welsh Gladiators. Everybody who comes in and trains, we all have a great time with each other, and even though we punch each other, we're all very close.
Yeah,
Shout out to Corn, to Tommy, to Ash, them three. They like watching them and what they do. They've taught me so much. They inspire me every day. A lot of the time, I'd say they're more like brothers than just coaches. Um, Shout out to yourself, Tom. You've
no,
had
bro.
me on your shows. Yeah, with this, you like the podcast. Um, and just shout out to just general uh people who come and support me, all my family, all my friends. Yeah,
Awesome.
that's basically it, bro.
Awesome. Fucking love that, bro. That's great. So guys, tickets are currently available. We got standing tickets available from your fighters, and then we've also got your balcony tickets available on the Boxed Combat app. So we can just close out now, guys. So Tyler from Welsh Gladiators takes on Jayci Dix of Strike Fitness at a 55-kilo boxing bout. We also have on the card representing Welsh Gladiators, we've got Jordan Edwards versus Rhydian Cummings from Eagles, Master K1 bout, and we've got Ethan's second name again, brother.
Montoto.
And we've also got Ethan Monoto versus Aidin Dix from Beales Muay Thai. That's another K1 bout as well. So we got three gladiators out nice and strong. So Tyler Williams and Jayci sponsored by the FFC Show. And also, guys, Rhondda Rampage 7, August 29th, Tylerstown Welfare Hall, the home of Rhondda Rampage. Doors open at 5, first fight's at 6. Just want to say thanks to all our show sponsors, Flow Fightwear, the FFC podcast, Captured by Jazz, Combat Parkinson's, Box Combat app, Nails by Sancho, Liam.w Design. And a big thanks for all the support, guys. And we look forward to seeing everybody on the night of the show. And that's it from us. Awesome, Tyler. Thanks very much for joining me today, bro. I really appreciate it. And thanks very much, every fuck's
Thanks for
sake.
having me, Tom.
All
No, that's
good,
all
bro.
right.
All good. Thanks everyone for joining, and look forward to it. Thanks, guys. Bye.